endgame, it's very hard to prove something with white. So I knew that, but I thought like, okay, maybe I can slowly build up something in the center. But yeah, I guess logically, this bishop f4 idea is logical, just to trade away a pair of bishops. But it doesn't work due to some also as well positional and tactical reasons. So basically, after I let these exchanges happen, it was never something I could really hope for. Yeah, more than a draw, and then after basically after b4, well, probably I have to bring my king to c2 and accept, sacrifice the pawn back and just accept the draw.
Magnus, the same question for you. When were you the most optimistic during this game?
I wouldn't say I was ever particularly optimistic, in the sense of winning the game. I was a little bit worried. Yeah, I was happy to find this idea with b4, but I knew that if he remained prudent there and just brought his king over, I thought chances of winning the game were not realistic.
Jan, it's your first game in a World Championship match. You're feeling now that it's over?
Well, I can't say much. So I was white, and normally we white you want to try to win, but yeah, draw is also somewhat a result. But yeah, just was I guess a fine game from Magnus. So I don't feel something specific.
Magnus, you had the black pieces in this game. Solid result after the first game.
Yeah, the result was solid. I do feel that I was a little bit shaky at times. There's certainly things that I could have done better, but overall I think the result was fair enough.
Most of your games played against Jan in the past have been in opens or at least in invitationals. This is your first time, of course, playing him in a match. Do you expect that his style will change, given that this is a match format?
Yeah, I think Jan was already quite a lot more solid in the candidates. This, I guess, was a continuation of that. But yeah, overall, he's just a very good player.
Magnus, question to Magnus. Today, it looked as if you got your kind of a position, a favorite kind of position for you, an endgame and the maneuvering, and before that, a pawn sacrifice. Would you consider this as a good start for you?
I think the answer is always nuanced. I mean, I didn't particularly mind the position that I got. I mean, the opening that I played is not one you can afford to play if you're not fine being down a pawn with the bishop pair. But after that, it does in general feel like white has a little bit more potential to maneuver, and black usually has to react a bit more. But I was pretty happy with the plan that I found eventually. Giving up the bishop pair to some extent looks very counterintuitive, but I thought that I would still have reasonable compensation with his weakened pawn structure and relatively passive pieces. And
from Danish Chess Magazine, I have a question for both players. Can you reveal a little bit about who are your trainers or seconds?
Part of the team remains the same from the candidates, and the part of the team has changed.
Yeah, it's funny you should mention that you're from the Danish Chess Magazine, because I can reveal a big secret that my chief trainer is actually Danish.
The opening choice suggests that perhaps also a German is involved on the team.
You may speculate as much as you want. I think that's half the fun of being a journalist at a World Championship match.
Yes, thank you.
Question for Jan. How does it, now your first game in World Championship is over, how do you feel? Do you feel relieved? How was it?
Well, I feel like you feel after a draw with white pieces. So, I mean, that's a quite usual result nowadays, but still, obviously, you want more.
You're looking a lot more fit. Curious what you did physically training for this match, and was there a target weight you were trying to get down to, or?
As you correctly mentioned, I was trying to be more fit. Well, and I mean, some may think that I was successful, at least at this part.
Were you surprised to see the knight move in the opening by Magnus?
Well, yeah, this by all means not the main move in the position. Yes, so normally black chooses other moves, but this move was one among I have studied before the match, and this was not a big surprise, I would say.
And the move rook from f to b8 was also inspiration?
Somehow, yes.
How long time did you spend for the preparation for the match itself?
This is directed to who?
Both players.
It's obviously hard to measure, but because there's the time that I spent and also the time that was spent by the team. So yeah, I don't particularly know, but I would say it's very similar amount to what's been done for previous matches.
Yeah.
Well, since I didn't prepare for previous matches, yeah, I can only say that it was a lot.